In this video, I'm going to show you how to go from a 1% positive response rate to a 5 to 6% positive response rate using personalized icebreakers with the help of ChatGPT. This by far has been the highest ROI thing I've ever done when it comes to cold outreach. As you can see here, if I send out 4,500 emails, I have 105 opportunities in the pipeline right now. And this is all thanks to my personalized icebreakers for my cold email. So the way I would do it is I have a lead list that I pull from my favorite website, which is Boomerang. All you gotta do is click on web scrapers and then basically put in the URL of the Palo link, name the file, how many contacts you want. Then I also have them verify the emails. Click on get my leads. Within 3 to 6 hours, you get your leads in your inbox and you could basically start running this automation on it right away. So you get that lead list, you put it through Google Sheets, and then you basically run ChatGPT through it by saying, hey, ChatGPT, you're my personalized, in fact, you're actually going to see it live over here. You're going to let it know that it's to write you. So you are my helpful, intelligent writing assistant. Write a personalized icebreaker to be used in a cold email. Use the provided LinkedIn profile as information. Be succinct, casual, use a spark tone of voice. Respond in JSON data format only, containing the icebreaker object, so on and so forth. In fact, I'm actually going to put the JSON down below so you could just download it and import it into your make.com file. And you basically have all this data pre-done for you as it is. After I have that done, I basically have an example of data I'm going to give it. And my response to that data, I'm going to do the same thing over again, give it an example of the data I'm going to give it. Then how I would respond to it. Then I'm going to do that a couple more times. And then basically it's a wrap. Then down here, here's where it's going to get the actual data from that Google sheet. Once it prints me out a result, the icebreaker, I'm going to have it update this sheet with the exact prompt, which is going to be the result on, for example, row number AX. But I'm actually going to do this from scratch. In fact, I'm not going to lie, I got a little head start on it. But let's jimmy on out of here and let's open up a brand new one. So first thing we're going to do, we are going to click on Google Sheets. And here's a list that I pulled up. In fact, I might as well walk through what this is right now. Okay, let's just stop it right here. So this right here, the thing that we're just running here is it's a Derek app. And all Derek app does, because I got that list so here's my list. I have the email addresses, first name, last names, all the necessary information. But what I need that's super important, I actually need the summaries of the profiles from their LinkedIn profile. Now, ChatGPT unfortunately can't open up this, well, it can, but not in this instance because we're doing so many of it. It's not going to click every individual's profile and then basically figure out what their profile is all about and then ultimately end up writing me a customized icebreaker. The way we have to do this, we have to open an app called the Derek app. It's very inexpensive. You basically open it up and you basically enrich this profile of this person. The way you enrich this profile is first things first, you actually have to click on, in fact, I know my face is down there, so I'm gonna move it out of the way. You have to click on settings and you have to put the cookie session of your LinkedIn profile. Now you have to have Sales Navigator in order to do this. Basically have the LI_AT code. You put in the cookie session here and you're basically done. Now the question that you might have is, well, Grinder, where do I get the LIAT cookie session code? What you would have to do is you would right click on inspect, go to applications, and you would find it underneath local storage. But you actually don't even have to do that. The way you would do it the easy way is you would click on use our LinkedIn extension and you basically download it here. Once you do that, I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to download it again. It'll give you this little cookie icon over here. You copy the cookies, and then basically you got the LI_AT code. You come back over here, you paste it, and you're all good to go. And then you go back, you click on Enrich LinkedIn Profile, and basically you click on the LinkedIn profile where it's located. So it says Contact LinkedIn. Let's just double confirm that. Perfect. This is the correct one. It's the person's actual LinkedIn profile. And then you click on Enrich. Now, because you saw it already running before I even started this, I'm actually going to forget about it for right now, because if we scroll to the right, it's already provided us the LinkedIn profiles. So let's just exit out of here. So now let's look at all the LinkedIn summaries that we have. In fact, I'm actually going to make this a little bit shorter here, or smaller, shorter, whatever word that we got to use, right? Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to make it small. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I'll skip that. Okay, so let's find the people's LinkedIn summaries. wherever they might be. Okay, so we have their LinkedIn URL. Keep scrolling to the left till we see a summary section. Perfect. A lot of people don't have summaries on their LinkedIn profiles. That's totally fine. So basically, we have more than enough LinkedIn profiles to be able to do some damage with. In fact, I'm going to exit out of this profile right here. I'm going to click on filter again, and I only want to see the people with the actual LinkedIn summaries and basically ignore everyone else. So here's the profile that we have. Here's the profile we're going to use to enrich our data. So I come up over here for the title. I basically say V90. The reason I say V90, because it'll be much easier to find in make.com instead of me trying to sift through all the different documents that I have. So we have a new scenario, and we basically want to watch a new row, and we want to give it, we want to find row sheet number V90, and we want it to find rows that go all the way up until, let's take a look, AX. So let's go all the way down to AX. AX, and we want to limit it to, let's do 3, let's just run 5. Sheet that we want is going to be, it's called main file. Perfect, and we basically want to find all of them because there's not that many to begin with. I think there's only, let's just see how many. There's only 193 profile summaries that we found, so that's fine. Okay, so now we're just going to run it once. Perfect. Okay, looks good to me. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add ChatGPT to it, and we're going to say create a completion is going to be the one. I'm just trying to see if there's one that I'm missing. Oh, that's fine. Create a completion, I should say. I've already added my ChatGPT on here, but if you didn't, the way you would do that, you basically click on add, and then you just type in your API key. The way you get your API key is from this link right here, platform.openai.com, right? API reference, and it'll tell you how to, it'll literally walk you through it. It's very, very simple to do. And then organizational setting, that's where you get your API key from. But I'm not going to do this for this instance. So, okay, we already have it. All right, so going back, let's close this. We already have it. The model we want to use is going to be model. This one's fine. I don't think you need 4.5. It's not necessary. And for token completion, we're going to say 250. More than enough. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to start adding the messages. First thing we do is add a user, letting it know what its role is. Again, because I've already done it before. Haha, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Again, every single thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the JSON file down below. You could just download it and import it to your own make.com profile. So we come over here and we basically want to let it know what its job is. We come back and we basically paste it and we open up a new one. We're also going to say user again. And now we're going to say write a personalized. In fact, I'm not going to type all of it. I'm basically just going to copy it. So this is kind of the bread and butter. This is what its job is now. And basically I'll walk through what it means. Write a personalized icebreaker to be used in a cold email. Use the provided LinkedIn profile as information. Be succinct, casual, use a Spartan tone of voice. Respond in JSON data format only containing an icebreaker object and resulting value. Do not wrap the JSON in a bash format such as backtick, JSON, backtick. Return plain JSON format. End with figured I'd reach out. Do not directly mention where they work. Do not perform any greetings like, hey, Alan, comma, period. This is perfect, right? And now we want to give it some examples. So we basically want to click on role assistant over here. And we want to give it, actually scratch that, not assistant yet, still user. We basically want to give it, right? Let's just go back here, just copy it. Some examples of the type of data we're going to be giving it, right? So here's the type of data we're going to be giving it. And where we would get this data from is literally going to be from here, right? We're going to give it its first name, its last name, SASSy's, well, the full name isn't necessary, their location maybe, their headlines, what their role is at the company, and most importantly is their summary. So I'm actually going to provide all that data. So I'm going to copy this. Again, links are down below. I'm actually not going to. So here's the user, and basically next thing is going to be assistant. We're going to let it know, here's the type of response that I want you to give. Hey, loved your content. Right? In fact, I already have that already pre-populated here. Hey, loved your strategies when it comes to fintech placement. Just you can have your type of style, your type of tone, whatever icebreakers you're currently using right now. And basically, I want to do this a couple more times. And the next one's going to be assistant, right? Let's do Dorothy now. For assistant, we're going to say, here's basically what we want to say to that person if we have this type of message. And let's just do one more. Actually, let's do one more. right? And now we're going to give it our response, which is going to be assistant. Okay, perfect. I think that's good. And we're going to do one more here. We're basically going to let it know where it's going to get the data from. And basically it's going to look something along the lines of this, right? We're just going to give it, in fact, this is not going to be completely accurate, so we actually got to redo a bit of it. Okay, so first name, what's the person's first name? All right, it's going to be this. Black means it's actually available, but I don't trust it. I want to redo it, and hence I want it marked in the proper colors. Okay, so first name, last name. You got to make sure this is super accurate, by the way. Company name. So this is going to be company name. Organization name is fine. And just go back and just delete that. Okay, title. What's that person's title in that company? So delete what we have here and just find title. Headline, title. Perfect. Now, here's probably the most important one, which is going to be the summary. Scroll a little bit down and let's start looking for summary. Okay, found it right here. Location, you could probably even leave out, but I'll add it in. Company location, California. All right, perfect. Okay, so we have everything that we need. Now what we're going to do is we are going to add this Google Sheet once it runs. So we have all the data from Google Sheet. Once it runs through ChatGPT, we want to paste whatever that result is back into Google Sheet. And the way we're going to do it is we're actually going to paste it on column number, this one over here. Actually scratch that because I already had an open slot for it. Okay, perfect right here. Okay, so we're going to paste it under icebreaker, right? It's going to be AF. So open this up, we want to create another module. And basically you want to say add a row. This is going to be correct. We do want to add a row. Now where sheet do we need? We need the same sheet as this. So we need V90, going to be boomerang. Perfect. The sheet that we want is going to be the main sheet. Scrolling down, and what row is it? It's going to be AF. So scroll all the way down to AF. Okay, scrolling AF. Perfect. Icebreaker. Awesome. So this is where the result's going to happen. All right. So now is the moment of truth. Normally I test all these out as I go, but because this is such a short scenario, I'm just going to run it all at once. So let's run a couple of them right now. Done. This is fine. This is perfect. And it says it's been updated. So we come over here. It should populate over here. And it did not want to do that. Okay, let's figure out what happened. All right. We do not know what happened just yet, but stay tuned. Right? Okay. It only goes up till AX1, which is fine, right? Let's just populate this icebreaker and let's start just doing one by one. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna run is this one, right? Okay, that's fine. And I'm gonna unlink this. And this is super important, by the way. Now we're basically troubleshooting and figuring out what's happening. This runs fine. This, let's see how it ran. Okay, so this is the type of data that we got. Icebreaker here, I appreciate both your efforts. No, this is perfect. So, okay, icebreaker is loading in here. That's fine. So it looks like we basically have an issue over here. I think I figured out what the issue is. I'm adding a row instead of updating a row. I suspect that's probably the issue. Okay, let's scroll all the way back. Yeah, we actually just want to update a row, right? Okay, so let's go back, right? So we go back and we want to get rid of this because these two are working fine. And now we want to just update a row. So let's take a look, update a row. Yeah, update a row. And what we want to click back over here. We're going to go V90. It glitches a little bit, but okay, what row do we on? It was AF, so it's going to be the main file. Row number, make sure you click on the row number that we have. And then F, so scroll down, let's find AF. And this is where we're going to put the result. Okay, so second time's the charm. All right, let's run this again. Let's see what happens. Okay, scroll to the right. Okay, perfect, there you go, look at that. We have icebreakers, it's loading up fine. But now you might be saying, well, Gunther, this is ugly, I don't want it like this. Because we got to remove these curly brackets, icebreaker, whatever. Now you could do it all in here, but because I like to save on operations, because if you do this over and over again, the operations add up. We could just do this directly into our list over here. The way we would do it is we basically I have this little formula over here. It's just some regex code which removes. It's going to go ahead and remove the icebreaker, just stop making it look ugly basically. And I'm just going to paste it over here and you're going to see a beautiful, perfect. That's basically what it looks like. Now, basically what I want is I'm going to delete these and I basically want to do it over again, but I do not want it in here. I want it in the very end. So in fact, actually before I do that, let me just copy this code again. Okay, so I'm going to delete this. Actually, I'll forget it. And I'll just scroll all the way to the right and have my icebreaker here. right? Perfect. Icebreaker, create a column on the right. This is going to have my little special code in it. Again, it just makes things much more simple. Okay, so it's going to be AX is what we're going to be executing. So let's go back to our make.com scenario. This is perfect. I like this. This is the only thing we got to change now because we want to change where we want to show the result. So it was AF earlier. I just want to double confirm that is the correct row that we're getting. It should say main file down here. Perfect, main file. Make sure you have this. You cannot hard code this. And we're going to do this under AX. Okay, perfect. Results in here. All right, that's fine. Now we are going to run this again. So come back over here. Now the column range ends like that. I'm actually going to have it. It's fine. We're going to do 3. Let's do 5. We're going to run it now. Okay, perfect. All right, so now let's test it out. Perfect. Okay, but one thing you do notice is there's a small little mistake. So this is coming out fine. I'm happy with this. In fact, I will mark it. Text is going to be black. But one thing's happening. This is only 4 and this is 5. So what's happening here is basically, you got to be very careful with this, by the way. The code over here is actually incorrect. It has to be 2, right? So when I was copying it, it got misaligned. So basically I would copy this code now and I'd paste it down here. Now it should be fine. So now if we go back and we say, hey, I want you to do 20 of them, it's going to do 20 perfectly fine. It's going to be, okay, now it's going to go one by one. And it changes every time, by the way. Okay, perfect. So there we have it, folks. And well, what does, in fact, I'm just going to, just so I can read it a little better, I'm going to insert one column to the right. Okay, so what does it actually say? Let's read issue 1. Your commitment to impacting patients' lives positively is truly inspiring. As someone who values making a difference in healthcare, as someone who values making a difference in healthcare, I figured I'd reach out. That's perfect. You're not going to find an icebreaker better than that. I can't even do an icebreaker better than that, right? And this is phenomenal. And this alone literally gave me a close to 3% positive response rate for this campaign. And this is a cold outreach campaign that I'm running, which are difficult to begin with. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope it was somewhat educational. As you can tell, these are fantastic icebreakers. And some of these I couldn't even come up with. So what does this say? Your commitment to impacting patients' lives positively is truly inspiring. As someone who values making a difference in healthcare, I figured I'd reach out. I think it's fantastic. And this is how we get to a 1% positive response rate to a 3, 4, 5% positive response rate sometimes. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope this video was helpful. Also, actually, I'll add one more thing, is I'm actually going to upload this entire thing into the link down below. So basically, I'll export it for you guys. And all you would have to do, you'd have to open up a new scenario. And you'd basically click on these little 3 dots down here, import blueprint, and you import in here, and you basically have everything in there. The only thing that you would actually have to edit is you have to log into your own accounts, right? So just connections. This one, you need your own API key. And basically, you just add it in, and you should be fine. And also for this one. Anyways, thank you.